Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, so my problem is problem statement. I cannot afford to manually. So this is dice. This when you see the equal sign, that's JavaScript. It's a very tedious JavaScript. A JavaScript that will has to be recoded. So everything here is command for only one cell. So it's very impractical. So what happened is you could see gas world position to the for uh, each thing here. So what the guys did was they made RandBetweens, which is not bad. It actually works. How do you so if I wanted to make another I wanted to make a dice value like this or this rolled here. So these orange ones are supposed to be dice values. I'd have to code each one. It'd have to have something like this. It'd have to have this. Because the main reason is because get current cell only works on one cell. And one of the things I learned is, so is that a separate one? Oh yeah. So when I tried get, so one of the things I learned is that oh yeah I made a mistake in the code. I should have used like instead of get current cell, get range and place the range. Oh, okay, but it rolls the same die across. It's the same die, it's the same roll across. Um, where is that? Yeah, it's the same die across the entire table. So if I roll a 7, it'll just put it all there. So, okay, that's a mistake. What's the objective? The objective is to get a die roll. What I can do is I've been experimenting. It's like, oh, why don't you just copy the RandBetween? Because like that's the simplest and it's the most effective. So what if I just copy a RandBetween and I just like so basically check this out. So let's do it. Let's do it. So this is a 2d6, I think. If I write RandBetween 2 to 12. Oh, that's not true. It should be. It should not be RandBetween 2 to 12. It should be. It does not have the bell curve expressions. It doesn't have the bell curve. Let me fix that. Let's put it. Let's put it here. Yeah, let's put it. No, let's begin with this one. Let's put it here. Let's copy this. Let's put it here. Okay. Let's put it here. Let's change this formula to 1d6 and then add another bracket. Okay, so that's a mistake. Fixing it. So Nico and I were like, oh yeah, like when you're making something like this, it's better to like program it to a spreadsheet, and then that way you can really test. So how do you know that your complicated world generating steps work? If it's like 70 steps, like in GURP space, you can't. Like, how do you know you even did it right? You can't do it without going through the steps and making several hours. So, creating this software. Why is it? Okay, fuck that. I'm just gonna like put the RandBetween there. Doesn't matter. So 2d6, 2d6. So yeah. So every time I refresh or change a cell, it's gonna refresh, which doesn't matter because I can make a command. I can just add this to the master of commands to copy. So the nice thing about this is that I can copy the entire range into this values only. So okay, Is this? No, this is position. This is only d6. So let's make it. Uh, let's remove this. This. I really just need to copy it. So it doesn't keep changing. This can keep changing. That's fine. What matters is this not changing. So what happens is let's just record a macro for the purposes of this. So data, what you call this? Sorry, extensions, macro, record macro. So we're recording a macro. It's not like a real recording. So it's just it'll just only command. So we'll get this and copy here and then save. Let's call this copy paste 01. Hopefully we're allowed to put numbers. Okay, so copy paste 01 kind of worked. Copy paste 01 kind of worked. So what happens is you saw the command. I put control shift 1. Wait, is it control shift 1? Macros. Control alt shift 1, sorry. Control alt shift 1. Okay. It kind of works. So it only works once I pull that command. Now the question is, can I do it among a group of cells with just a macro? So okay, let's try that. Okay, let's create a new macro. Let's make these all, let's put these all here. Okay, that sucks. Let's put them all here. Okay, let's try. Because, you know, like we don't want to block that part out. Let's make it all here. It's there. So no matter what, these cells will contain values, pasted values. They're not gonna contain what you call this. They're not gonna contain a value that'll keep changing every time someone encodes something in the spreadsheet. So let's try that. And of course, the nice thing about it is, ooh, what happened to this? Oh yeah, it's before. I'll put a square next time. Anyway, so let us first let's see if I can select multiple rows when I record macro. If I make a mistake, just undo. Okay, let's see. Record extension macros. Oops. Record macro. Let's see. Can we select this? Select. Oh, I'm gonna have to select all of this. I cannot select. Oh, I can. Select this. Select this. Select this. Let's try this group first. Don't need to commit yet. So, control copy. And then control this. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Control Shift V. And then save. Let's save it as, let's say, copy paste 02. Let's put Alt Shift, Control Alt Shift. So let's see if it works. Control Alt Shift 2. Okay. Control Alt Shift 2. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the script. No, let's look at the macros here. Didn't work. Did it? Oh, so you can do that. Interesting. So I can get range. It didn't copy paste. It didn't copy paste. Why can't it copy paste? So I get range list, activate. Okay, let's delete this function. Let's try it again. Let's try it with 2. Extension, record macro. Let's copy this with control. Copy this, control copy, and then paste it here. It won't copy. It didn't change. It should have changed values. So I have to, okay, so I'll just have to do it a number of times. Or can't I just change it here? Can't I just do the same? No, I can't. So that's the problem. So yeah, so I have to make the macro. I have to make the I'll just cut and paste it and just fix the yeah, just cut and paste it. Sorry, this should be here, and this should be here, and I'll make some visual breaks that this is the group. So like alternating. Yeah, I'll try to put some visual breaks. Which one's the groups? Yeah. So yeah, like thing like why are these random things there? Yeah, but it's okay. Again, world generator product that has a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is actively maintained by myself. And yeah, good thing it's a 2-man team, so one guy can focus on this kind of problem. So so I fixed the logic of this. So if it's a very hazardous world, it's automatically an amber. High hazardous, um, high and intense hazardous world, it automatically makes it an amber. If it's a 2 and below, 2 and below, if it's not a hazardous world, if it's not a hazardous world, a high hazardous world, it checks this roll, and if it's a 2 and below, it's an amber. You know, it doesn't have a red yet, a red zone. The red zone is in the rules is a GM's fiat, world build, So yeah. Um, call this. So yeah, I just have to make a proper what you call this proper what you I have to make a proper cut and paste here. Uh, so yeah, so I just need to make a proper cut and paste. Yeah, I just need to make a proper cut and paste here as well as in the others, and then figure out. There's an easier way to do this. Yeah, there is. There's an easier way to do this. There's an easier way to do this, and that entails me. That just simply entails me copy pasting this entire row. Oh wait, is this who's using this value? If no one's using this value, oh yeah, there's someone using this value. Oh no, no one's using this value. Let's see who. Okay, let's try putting one. No, those are rand select. So let's try here putting two. No. Okay, so there's no one's using these values. Yeah, no one's using these values. So I just need to do is copy paste the entire row to this row, so it saves me all the effort. Um, yeah, I'll just align it. Just align it. Just align it. Number of terrestrial worlds. Like I'll just align it all. So yeah, so you're gonna have when you get this product, you're gonna have all these. There's a chance that there'll be worlds with the similar distances. Yeah, we'll figure out how to deal with that. But the GM just can just adjust it. These are like general call this. Yeah, GM can just adjust it. Man, this is there's a yeah. If it's an outer solar system, so yeah. Yeah. So position, mass, type. Yeah. There's no type for that. So yeah, there's no type for terrestrial world is already a silicaceous world, and I have to get rid of this. Whatever is causing this to have a formula. Anyway, it's okay. It's still 2d6. Okay. So this and this. So yeah. So every so you'll notice like I made it fainter. You could see, and ideally there is no It's clear. Anyway, it just copy pastes. So let's look at the macros. Okay, so we learned it works. Delete that. Let's create a new macro. Uh-huh. So data, add extensions, record macro, control copy. Okay, control copy. And in these cells, oops. Uh-oh. Am I gonna have a hard time because they're because they're oh crap. Cancel. Am I gonna have a hard time because they're merged? Okay. I'm gonna have a hard time because they're merged. Merged. Traded again. F'd again because of merged. Okay. So let's tools, extension, macros, record macros. Let's try this again. So macros, you use it to like learn how to do the script, and then yeah, it has some limited uses. Okay, let's do that and select all of this and Control Shift B. So there, and save. Copy, paste, call I. Let's have one. So let's see. Control Shift Alt 1. Okay, it's not bad. So all these things are copied here, and it's not bad. Actually, if I knew about the macro, I would have used that instead of having to learn to JavaScript. But you can't do dice certain things. Well, you can actually. You could probably make a character generator purely with that. It's just a question of laying out the information. Like, it's possible for me to do it without that much JavaScript next time. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna lay out the data. Um, yeah, yeah. Like, target is to make as much as uh, for me and Nico, and then have a budget. So it's usually what will happen is, um, for our group, royalties minus expenses. So there's me. So that's me and Nico. And then of course there are freelancers. Expenses. The expenses are me, Nico, freelancers, particularly coders, uh, trainee artists. Basically, we train them in Blender. Usually OJTs, and then if the rates are better, we'll train everyone we work with, because we can't afford professionals, and then we will be doing the higher level work. Which that way keeps the values low for you guys in developing world. Yeah, this is call this, so Philippine per hour is less than $2. Call this, that's minimum wage. but of course we'll be paying better than minimum wage. Call this, and yeah, me and Nico, freelancers, equipment, licenses. So basically, like LibreOffice. So I got the LibreOffice online kind of working. So I'm gonna test deploy it in Google Cloud. Um, this way will allow us to to do it online. So Google Cloud, LibreOffice, that'll cost roughly probably 40 $50 per month. The equipment, Nico needs a better laptop desktop. That's $500 in the future. Freelancers, yeah, easily $1,000. Call this. I mean, for like, if I were gonna make this like a better sheet, I won't be able to help people with it if it's not spreadsheet. It has to be a spreadsheet wherein it it's well documented how to fix things. And then some people, they'll just want to change certain tables. They don't want to change the entire thing. So we wanted that people can just change certain tables, and then like they don't align with what we believe about the planets and the stuff. So you just change the tables and stuff. They don't need to reprogram each thing. So yeah, yeah. So this two guys working on this full time wouldn't be call this would be so this is the per month from earnings from the previous month, earnings from the previous month, minus the expenses for the next project. So that's one of the cash flow puzzles here. So cash flow is, if you were playing Traveler, so what if your ship got a contract for this much money? If you're paid at the end of the trip, that much money that your contract is, or the accrued costs, these costs are all theoretical until you get paid. What you work with, or what the people who hire you with, is your current cash on hand. And if they ask you to do something that will require you to buy equipment, um, charter military equipment, a mercenary brigade, etc., to perform a task, and they pay you upon success and bonus. Um, they have to have a down payment. Like, that's bullshit. Like, uh, they don't pay full. So in some games, like, I find it weird. Like, you're paying full. No, I mean, if I were to run the game, and I would run the game based on my experience in the family business and the third world environment, and the shady, very shady practices in 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 Philippine business. I mean, it's just as shady as any other country. It's just that I really hate. It's like, it's not a Louis Rossman thing wherein you just get what you see. That's the ideal. That's what I want. But like, you're not. Like, in fact, like, I'm thinking about, like, oh, if you can tell me if there's a thing about my product wherein I'm douchey, like, I'm not gonna make it dot 99. You're just gonna get round numbers. If I'm gonna have a price increase, I'm gonna mention it. I'm gonna, like, you get what you pay for. I'll try not to nickel and dime, because the algorithm, the drive-through RPG algorithm rewards us nickel and diming, because um, you won't see us unless we create pay what you want, tiny pay what you wants, and new small products regularly. You don't see us when we make a big product. You see us 1 week out of 52 weeks if we make a big product. We have to make small products. So it's kind of like nickel and diming, but that's the thing we can do. And even if I upgrade the product every week, every month, there's a new feature to the product. No, you won't see it. It's the system is designed for the attention of its audience, which is a group of people who will check the site out periodically. They don't have they're not. There's no plan to buy all these things. Okay, so that's one of the things about the system. So yeah, royalties minus expenses. Me and Nico, freelance coders, artists, equipment. Oh my god, the equipment. The equipment Nico needs. And of course, like, down the line, like, given our health, given our age, we really need to train a lot of freelancers to eventually take over us. Um, I mean, make us obsolete. Obsolete in doing the stuff, and maybe like management would be that. Call this. I'm always worried about like just breaking eventually. Call this. The thing has to go. The idea has to endure. The open source, the RPG, which allows people to do hard science, update the science, learn coding, learn business, learn all the things, social, EQ, social challenges, um, all these things. It has to endure because end of the day, the publisher, us, Nico, we're just cogs in this giant system. So it's like, um, if the good does not, the good does not endure past us, it stops. Um, I'm an open source advocate, and one of our products is going to be a Philippine version of ERP Next, which is a big benefit because it allows for an accounting system. The thing is that we agreed to remove our use old intern students to recreate our server with all the legal configurations needed by the Philippine government for an ERP Next, and then of course the workflow to publish the workflow of how to encode your incomes, taxes, and stuff, and reports required by the government auditor. What's frustrating is that we are using ERP Next recently. There have been companies already using ERP Next in the Philippines, but none of them ever published a scraped version of it. And if you follow my ERP Next DIY group in Facebook, you learn that um, the ERP Next community since 2020 has been stagnant. 200 people because they kicked out all Indians and stuff. And like no one asks questions, no one fixes stuff, no one does anything. And so I decided to make my DIY group in May, and it's already 1,300 users. And I'm sure there's a lot of it are bots and stuff or advertisers. It's just that, and of course, like I help deploy. We like have basic stuff for setting up the stocks and stuff. And it's like I took X amount of time to just help a bunch of people, and it grew out to 1,300. And it's like, why didn't just people just share their freaking server? That's why the Cepheus engine is just a big deal to me. It's like, and of course like OGL, but the thing I have mechanical problems with the D20. I like the bell curve of the 2D6. Not to mention that um, D20s have logistical challenges when going to third worlds and stuff. So it's like a D6 is something more accessible. A D6 is something you can make from scratch. Uh, so uh, so when you think about it, um, why is it that something so basic and kind and helps a lot of people takes such a momentous, and why can't like more people be like Louis Rossmann? Why can't people be the guys, these guys? And it, they identify very easy, cheap ways for you to help another person. Uh, Sometimes your time, your 2 minutes, your 10 minutes multiplies to hours to this other person, and it's just so cheap for you to help someone. So it's like, and it helps them so much. And of course, like 99% don't return the favor. Like, like that's okay. You don't come out with you don't come out with a strategy to help people, needing them to pay you back in return. Because it's not gonna win. The fact that you need to pay them back. Like here, this is a hobby I'd rather help. We started doing this because Nico needed a gig, and I had to kick myself and say, what the fuck am I doing with my life and shit. So that's why it's kind of like gotten to this point. But the thing is, like, in the end of the day, it's like I'm helping someone, and like let's just see where it goes. Uh, I'm not saying that everyone should help someone and stuff like. Louis Random had a really nice one. You gotta try, and you gotta you gotta try, and you gotta keep trying. Like you gotta have a way to just keep trying. Game it, game the trying, game it until it succeeds a bit, and then you try again and you learn and it succeeds a bit. So it's all min maxing of being kind and being a nice person and just helping out. It's really that. If you can min max if you're like if you're the guys who are in the early 2000s when D&D 3.0 came in and one of the most min maxer guys there are, and then you wonder like what's this ability for, to min max. What do you do? What's it for? It's to be the smartest, motherfucker that can help all the people as it can be. And like that's the thing. Like that's what you think when you look at um the guys like in open repair and the open source movement. these guys these guys are so smart. I want to be just like them. They're my idols and stuff, and they fix stuff so much. They make technology so much better with the cheapest tools possible. um and anyone can participate. Guy from the Philippines can participate. A starving artist from the Philippines can participate and get to this point. So it's like, uh, it's just such a weird thing. Uh, it's just such a weird thing. Um, how I relate this to games, because like it's in games where I learn to min max, and you cannot get to helping a lot of people if you don't have the skills to help a lot of people. And you get these skills from games because it's a safe place for you to keep trying and failing. You need a safe place to keep trying and failing, and you need a safe place to feel like fail to have a good relationship with failure. If you don't have a good relationship with failure, if you cannot see failure as just part of the journey, as like, I just learned one more thing and I hope that, call this, eventually it will work out, you won't have that relationship in an environment with such high stakes as reality. You need the game to grow. So yeah, that's why it's game in the brain. So it's like, yeah, yeah, that's the goals of the company and stuff. Um, yeah, and like just really ghetto. What the hell? What happened to this? Oh, I cut it. What was this? Before history. Show edit history. Replaced world generator with, yeah. So yeah. Okay. So anyway, sorry for the long analysis. This is just a quick update.